What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Crypto for You. Something insane is happening with the crypto charts. Look at this. Bitcoin is literally, and I have no other way to say this, going parabolic. Because if you go on the weekly time frame, which is what I'm on right now, we just see straight green candles. And we've been seeing green candles since October of 2023, which was 8 weeks ago. So we have already doubled in price since October of 2023, and a lot of people are wondering, what will Bitcoin do in the short term, the mid term, and the long term? What is going to happen with Bitcoin? And today I want to talk about how Bitcoin is 100% in a bull market. I want to talk about what is happening, what's affecting Bitcoin, and where are we going to go very soon. This is going to be an important video, so stick around. Don't forget to leave a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's go straight into this jam-packed video. So, starting with Bitcoin, we can see something insane because Bitcoin rose 60% in 7 weeks. That is actually insane because if we continue this trajectory for Bitcoin, by the time we reach the all-time high, if we keep going straight up like this, we're going to reach the all-time high before the halving, which I've been talking about on my YouTube channel as being one of the main catalysts for why Bitcoin's going to go up. But the halving is not here yet. So why in the world is Bitcoin going up? Well, one of the reasons is the halving cycle. If I turn on this amazing chart, you can see that we are getting very close to the next Bitcoin halving. I'm sure everybody knows what the Bitcoin halving is, but essentially what's going to happen is that there's going to be less Bitcoin coming out after this period, which is going to be at April of 2024, which is why after this, technically, what always happens is Bitcoin starts to go up. This has been proven in the past. Three rallies already have happened, and at the first year after the halving, we see insane spikes to new all-time highs, which is what people are thinking is going to happen with Bitcoin. The question becomes, is this the only reason? No. We have another reason, and that is the Bitcoin ETFs about to get accepted, and that is very bullish. People are buying the rumor, thinking about what Bitcoin's gonna do in the future because we have had this huge battle between corporations and government. BlackRock and the SEC, they've been trying to connect and figure out a way to settle this huge dispute. What's the dispute? The dispute is about the ETF, and this ETF, the spot Bitcoin ETF, has had many revisions in the past. We have had many different deadlines, and the SEC keeps coming out and rejecting it or telling them to revise the whole entire ETF. But finally, we have a final deadline where the ETF needs to get accepted, and that is January 10th, 2024. And many people are looking at that date as being when the ETFs are going to get accepted. I've been talking about the ETFs for a while, and we've been following the story closely. There have been many revisions, but the SEC is running out of reasons to keep the ETF under lockdown, and there's no legal reason the SEC has to keep the spot Bitcoin ETF from coming out unless they find something in the companies themselves. But the question is this ETF going to be a big case of buy the rumor, sell the news? Listen to me. There is a big strategy in crypto that many people use. This is a strategy that's always used in trading. People see real world news and they see the hype that's gathering around this. They're buying the rumor, but as soon as the news comes out about this cryptocurrency or the ETF, for example, about to come out, people start to take their profits out. They buy the rumor and they sell the news. And the question is the same exact thing about to happen for the ETFs? Well, let's think about this logically because if we open up the Bitcoin chart and just look at what Bitcoin's doing, we can see that Bitcoin looks severely overbought. We have been rising 60% in the last 3 months, nonstop, going parabolic to the hype that's happening around Bitcoin. And we can see using the VPVR that there's almost no resistance area where we are. If I look at the past history of Bitcoin, the next huge resistance level is at $47,000, which is why that is many people's price target, $47,000 to $48,000, and that is my price target too. So if Bitcoin's gonna go anywhere, it's gonna go up to $48,000. Now the question is, what's gonna happen when we're gonna reach $48,000? At this rate of how fast Bitcoin's climbing, we could reach $48,000 maybe next week, but we need to stop and rest for a little bit. Unless we're being manipulated by the market, unless there's some crazy news that comes out that makes every single person in the world buy in, we do need eventual stops for Bitcoin. There's not going to be infinite buyers, but until then, we will continue to rise. We will continue to pump. But the question is, when are we going to stop? Well, the ETF gets accepted January 10th, 2024. And that is right over here. Now, until then, we can go up to $48,000 easily. But there's a big chance that after we reach this target of $48,000, we come down to lower levels. For example, $38,000 once again, maybe even reaching $34,000. Why do I think this? Well, because number one, there seems to be patterns happening all over crypto. For example, in Bitcoin, this could be a very ugly, but could still be an inverse head and shoulders. Once again, very ugly, but this would make sense if we had a crash down over here to have a fall down to around $35,000, which is what we had for the left shoulder over here. What's insane about this pattern, though, is if theoretically this is an inverse huge head and shoulders for Bitcoin, the target of this head and shoulders calculated by the neckline takes us all the way to $81,000. Now that's an insane price prediction. Now let's just say that you don't believe in this inverse head and shoulders because the trend is incorrect, which is something that you should always look out for. Let's just say that. Well, we have another indicator, and it could be this interesting cup and handle formation. And what do cup and handles always have? Well, they have a handle, and that is simplified by a bull flag. So technically, what we should look out for is either a bullish pennant or a bull flag in the upcoming months. If we stop at $48,000, then you could expect a little rocky road until either January 10th, 2024, maybe the halving, but we could stop out a little bit. Of course, this does not need to happen, but if it does, if this becomes a cup and handle, the same exact price target happens. We have a price target to $81,000, and that would be insane. And of course, Bitcoin right now is running on Steam, but what else is having the hype? Ethereum. Look at Ethereum. It's looking even more bullish than Bitcoin. It has a lot of indicators that are playing out actively that could take Ethereum very, very high. For example, we had this bull flag that we broke out right over here that I've been talking about for a while, and the target of this bull flag is almost reached already, $2,500. I've been talking about this bull flag when we were down over here at 1,700, and this would have been an insane 43% trade. And now, right now, we have around 10% left till we reach that target. But that's not the big indicator. This huge ascending triangle is. We broke out of this huge triangle that we've been inside for over 1 year already. And the target of this triangle is all the way at $3,100, which is another 40% climb. Now, we've already broken out. So the question is, are we going to keep rising to $40,000 or are we going to fall? And that comes down to what Bitcoin's going to do. Because we see an interesting pattern with altcoins when we compare them with Bitcoin. Here's Solana back in 2021 when Bitcoin was at its peak in the bull market. What's interesting is what Solana does. Because Bitcoin, while flying parabolic, Solana doesn't go that fast. But when Bitcoin starts to slow down, that's when Solana goes like crazy. And of course, there are huge dumps that the whole entire crypto world understands. But what's interesting is that when Bitcoin goes parabolic, all the attention comes to Bitcoin. And once it slows down, that's when the altcoins rally. And so Bitcoin goes first usually. Bitcoin's the lead. And once it starts slowing down, well, that's when altcoins start to pump. And that's why it makes sense if Bitcoin slows down a little bit. Right now at $48,000 and Ethereum speeds up. If Ethereum speeds up and altcoins speed up, it will be a perfect stopping point for Bitcoin that will cause people to divert their attention to altcoins. A perfect cycle. And after that, coming closer to the halving, after the halving, we usually see an insane rise up, an insane rally. And if we, of course, do a bull flag right over here, then of course, this bull flag could take us much, much higher. I don't know the exact parameters of this bull flag, but for example, if we draw them out like I have right over here, we could go to around $58,000 or $60,000. That's an insane rally that Bitcoin could have. And so, What I urge you guys to do is to just hold. The halving is not even here yet. We are not at the halving. Until the halving happens, we can have very large volatility. We can go up to $50,000. We can fall down to $35,000, $30,000. But of course, it will still continue to be the bull market plan because the huge parabolic run up that we see every cycle happens after the halving, not before. So this is nothing. We could see $150,000 by the end of next year. And with all the news that is happening in the Bitcoin, this could be the biggest price move in history of Bitcoin. And so, 48,000, here we come. And I'll be watching every step of the way, creating videos for you guys. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to click that post notification bell. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.